Welcome to our class. I will skip our wonderful intro because I just want to know, as I'm sure you do, right? How can we be more happy, connected, and empowered, right? Everybody wants to know that, right? So this is what this whole class is going to tell you about tonight. I just want to welcome everyone for coming and patience with the technical difficulties and all that. So, in this class, you're going to learn the science behind emotion and essential oils and tools and habits for healthy body chemistry and very practical emotional wellness steps you can take now. So as this little diagram shows, you are created to function as a whole. The spirit, mind, and body are inseparably connected, communicating at a cellular level. And I do apologize, I didn't introduce myself, but I am Victoria Craigie. I am a holistic health coach as well as a licensed massage therapist. And that's part of being a holistic health coach, is because we recognize that what affects the mind affects the body, affects the spirit, that we're all one. And so this is what this is all about, to help everyone to understand that even better. Your body we're all made up of intelligent cells wired to restore health. So to learn, let's go back here. And here we go, yes. To learn the language of your body, you need to know what emotions are and what they are communicating. Emotions, it's always been kind of a thing that's, like life would be easy sometimes if it weren't for all these emotions, right? So what exactly are they? Emotions are information carrying molecules that bind to and react with cell receptors. So if you see in the little diagram, that's a cell receptor, right? Kind of looks like a Y. And emotions actually bind to or attach to the cell receptors, as do essential oils, which we'll go into a little bit later. So the emotions, they actually go into our cells and they impact function and behavior. In other words, emotions in their smallest and most basic form are chemical molecules. In this image, the cell is receiving these molecules on one of its receptors. Receptors are molecules that function as senses or scanners, much like our eyes and ears. These receptors gather in a cluster on the surface of a cell, waiting for a chemical to attach a message. This new information is then received inside the cell, impacting your energy level, your behavior, and your mood. It's really fascinating to discover how emotions affect our health, and as this shows, how they affect us physically as well, since emotions are actually going into all of our cells in our body. Did you ever think about that, Chelsea?
Absolutely, all the time.
Well, I just never did, honestly. I was like, I just thought, well, emotions are something you feel, you think about, kind of, you think something, you feel it, but I didn't actually realize that, wow, it's really impacting every cell of my body. I just thought that's like,
well, yeah, when I get sad, especially, then my whole body kind of just wants to shut down, curl into a little ball, and I just remain sad.
yeah, so it's really not that strange, actually. So, so tonight, or if you're watching this during the day or listening to this, I just invite you to learn more about your amazing body and listen to what it may be teaching you. You actually can be your own best advocate and claim the gift of wellness for yourself. So, because emotions are chemicals, they are not limited to the mind. Emotions flow and are processed throughout our entire body. Science actually reveals that there are complex neural processing functions in our mind, heart, and gut. These three brains, as they're called, are neural networks with independent memory and intelligence. This means you can actually process feelings in each of these brains. So the mind is basically like a conductor. It's directing the body to feel emotionally and behave physically. The heart discerns the messages our brain receives, and the gut responds accordingly, distributing health or illness to the rest of our body. The three brains communicate with each other. They feed back to and therefore influence the mind. And that's actually a quote from a neuropsychologist. So this is all based on science. It's pretty amazing the power your body holds really to choose wellness. And so this slide kind of just shows how it actually happens in our day-to-day life. Have you ever felt like the woman in this picture? I know I have. This moment is immediately recorded in our subconscious mind. So there's like three things going on at once. You can see how each brain sends its own message. The mind might think, I have to figure this out. It's my responsibility after all, right? The heart says, I feel overwhelmed. Maybe I'm holding too much. The gut reinforces, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. And so what happens is a biochemical reaction then occurs. One may feel conflicted, confused, even notice an unsettled stomach. These negative reactions are the consequence of conflicting messages which disrupt internal balance. This results in disconnection or dis-ease, disease. So when we think and feel something simultaneously, a new belief is created. So in this example, this woman concludes, I'm not good enough. We are always reinforcing old beliefs or planting new ones. Nurturing a belief produces fruit. But as you can see, she's watering her head, and inside her head is not actually a fruit, but it's a weed. So my question to you is, and this is something we can ask ourselves throughout the day, really, are you cultivating a seed or a weed? So how do essential oils fit into all this? Essential oils are an incredibly effective emotional wellness tool. This on the left is balance. It is calming and grounding to the central nervous system, and it contains frankincense, which is a powerful cleanser and magnifier that opens the mind's eye, which is one reason why we put it on our forehead. And it also connects the soul with its authenticity. You can put it on your heart or on the back of your neck. Chelsea, are you there? I just wondered if you'd like to share an experience that you've had with either balance or frankincense. Have you noticed a difference emotionally by using them?
Yeah, definitely. Balance I was using today. Actually, I used both of them today. Balance I used at work. I just felt a little bit overwhelmed and I just was feeling a little bit stressed. So I turned to balance and I applied it a little tiny bit under my nose and on my wrists and on the back of my neck. And I just noticed like a sense of peace kind of came over me. And it definitely it really does make you feel grounded. It just kind of levels everything out on one field plane so you can kind of just focus a little bit better. And frankincense also helps me focus. I do like applying it to my forehead. I actually like applying it to my face mixed in with the lotion. in the morning, it kind of just draws attention to, I'm a very sleepy person in the morning, so it kind of helps me focus and retain really everything that's going on. It makes my brain a little bit more alert.
Yeah, it's a great oil. In fact, I'm getting it out right now because I realized I don't think I've used my frankincense today. So I can always tell if I haven't used it because I'm like, sometimes it helps with memory. And that's something that it's really great and important to have a clear memory, to have your mind functioning. So again, it's just an example of how the essential oils affect us physically as well as emotionally. Now I feel a lot better. Just put it on the back of my neck, breathe it in a little bit. Very nice. So, emotions. So it's really interesting because emotions and essential oils are chemically based. So a powerful reaction actually occurs as they make contact within our body. Essential oils are very chemically complex, which is why each oil is able to have so many uses and applications. Now, here's another great super favorite of mine, wild orange. I was using that today too. So what they do is with this chemical complexity is that they're able and they're very efficient at detoxifying the cell while restoring proper cell function. So it's really amazing how biocompatible essential oils are within the body. What this wild orange is great for, I just love to smell it. It's just such a wonderful smell. It invites a connection in the body and it stimulates energy. People love to put wild orange in their diffuser to diminish feelings of overwhelm in their environment. Citrus oils like wild orange are great mood uplifting, and they promote toxic release. So it's really does that on a physical as well as an emotional level. Because when if you're feeling a little bit negative, it really does help to kind of just detoxify those feelings. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because another one is lemon, or all the citrus oils. We know that they're mood uplifting, and they're also detoxifying. So they're detoxifying physically as well as emotionally. So,
absolutely. Yeah, tangerine and wild orange are both, I always feel like more alert after. And I think that's because of the detox and also their bright, happy note that they have in them too.
yeah. Now this next slide kind of just blows my mind because it's so hard to imagine this number. 40 million trillion molecules. I mean, it's like huge. What are we, like 20 trillion in debt? So it's like in our nations. But wow, 40 million trillion molecules is actually in one drop of essential oils.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just amazing. I can't even wrap my head around that, but I'm trying. So this is one of the reasons why essential oil molecules go cellular so quickly, is because they're extremely molecularly dense. So that's what this means by the 40 million trillion molecules. It's very molecularly dense. So these very tiny molecules from the chemical compounds in essential oils can literally service every cell of the body within minutes. In fact, actually, 40 million trillion is more than the cells we have in our body. So it's really able to saturate or double saturate our cells, which is a really good thing. And because of their chemical complexity, essential oils promote emotional and physical detox, as we were talking about. They help remove the conflicting cellular messages and encourage cellular restoration. They support those receptor sites, as you can see again over there on the cell, and they're basically reviving and enhancing them. So this is one of the reasons essential oils do not carry side effects. They go directly into the cell efficiently. So as you see, like the essential oils, the emotions go into the cells. So to clarify, essential oils as well as emotions go inside our cells. And it's truly amazing when you think about, because we just, like, I've just been putting them on and using them, all these years, but I never really thought about exactly how they get in there, right? But I guess that's always been known because, from a physical standpoint, we know they go into the cells and they can get rid of viruses that are inside the cells, as well as the bacteria that's outside the cells. But wow, I mean, actually going in and affecting the cells and affecting our body emotionally is like amazing. So also essential oils are able to restore and maintain the state a cell is naturally and intelligently designed to embody. So this next one you probably may have seen before. It's the picture of a peppermint leaf as well as the magnified peppermint leaf. And these are the oil sacs that are those little round circles that are just sitting on the surface of the peppermint leaf. Essential oils course through the plant as it's considered its lifeblood. So essential oils, as in blood is like our life, is our blood. Well, essential oils are the lifeblood of the plant, and they help the plant defend, nourish, and repair itself. The quality, therefore, and the grade of an essential oil will determine its effectiveness. So when you think about the essential oils are not only just going on our skin, they're going into our body, they're going into our cells, how very, very important it is to be able to have the highest grade oils possible. And that's what the CPTG stands for, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. They are the safest, the purest oils anywhere out there on the planet. And that's because of doTERRA is the #1 company in essential oils and the #1 company that does more testing than any other company out there to ensure its quality, its potency, and the fact that they will do consistently in every bottle exactly what you need it to do. So peppermint, one of the most versatile oils. It's one of doTERRA's most popular oils. Chelsea, you still there?
Still here.
Hey. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you want to just share a little bit about peppermint.
Yeah, peppermint, I have it diffusing right now. Peppermint definitely keeps you alert. It's also really good for respiratory, but mostly, I mean, emotionally, it does help you like really zone in and focus. It helps to clear any of that mental fog that you have going on. I use this a lot at work. It's almost like frankincense in a way, where it kind of just helps you zone in.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was looking at an emotional chart. There's some emotional charts I'm going to show you later in this presentation. But like, how when people are upset and then someone will say, well, just breathe, right? And how, like, when we're kind of getting a little bit off emotionally, or our breathing becomes shallow. But if we take a little drop of peppermint and we breathe it in, it goes into our lungs, and all of a sudden we're breathing again. We're breathing deeper again. So this is another example of how it helps us just to be more calm, to be able to have those deeper breaths, which promotes calmness as well as alertness.
AKA all of yoga, breathing deeper.
Yeah, yes. So awesome. Yes. Awesome, awesome oil. We could talk lots and lots about this, but we're going to move on because we have more to share. um, More about aromatic use, basically. And when it comes to emotional, how do we affect ourselves emotionally? One of the best ways is smell, because it is the fastest way to affect our mood. So hence, the term aromatherapy. So it's the quickest way to basically to get into the deepest part of the mind brain. Our sense of smell is more complex than any of our other senses, including sight. There are actually sense receptors on every organ of the body. So as you inhale an essential oil, these aromatic molecules travel to the olfactory bulbs, which are linked directly to the emotional or limbic seat of the brain. And so inhalation, breathing these oils in creates an immediate emotional impact. Essential oils are very dynamic. They're shifting and changing intelligently as they interact with your body's chemistry. You will discover that each and every essential oil has both physical and emotional components and applications. And again, this is because of their chemical complexity. So the second way that we can use essential oils for emotional support is by using them topically or transdermally, which is really, really great with this new emotional aromatherapy kit, because they're in roller bottles and you can apply them topically, but you're also breathing them in aromatically too at the same time. So what happens is when we apply them topically, these tiny molecules pass through our skin and go straight into our circulatory system. Applied basically anywhere on the body, essential oils will penetrate every cell. So some great tips to affect the three brains of the body. So here's some, as you look on the screen, you can apply over the heart area, inside of the wrists, right behind your ears, on the back of your neck, across your forehead, on the bottoms of your feet. That's because the pores are the largest on your bottoms of your feet. And also some essential oils pass through the blood-brain barrier. And you can also apply them over your stomach area, which is great for anything going on with your digestive system or your emotional brain there. And this next oil oil blend is an awesome one, past tense. Physically, it can be applied for occasional head tension. Emotionally, it can be used for occasional emotional tension and confusion. Apply some over the back of your neck, on the temples, and along the forehead. Such a great oil. Have you used this one? Oh, yes, you've used this one.
Oh, yes. All hail past tense. I am loving past tense. I only got it about 2 months ago, and I kept on going to use it, actually, after my first time. Couldn't find it. Daniel had commandeered it. It's been really helping my boyfriend, Daniel, and he drives CDL sometimes. And, there's a lot of things that you have to think about. He has his other things running around in his head. So a little swipe of past tense, and it really helps promote some clarity and just cut through all that confusion that really, has your mind really foggy. And it's really, I love it for headaches. It is something very quick to just roll on. It's already blended with that fractionated coconut oil, just rolls right on. Roller bottles are so nifty in that sense.
Yeah, it's so calming too. It's just such a calming, relaxing oil. Just love it. It's like one of those ones you don't want to leave home without.
Yes.
All right. And So now we want to talk about the third way to use CPTG oils, certified pure therapeutic grade oils. Basically, are the only ones. It's so exclusive to the CPTG oils is internal use. So any oil or oil blend that is labeled for dietary use may be taken internally in three ways: in water, under the tongue, or in a gel capsule to support overall health. Another great blend, very, very popular blend, especially this time of year, and is our On Guard for seasonal threats. I was just at a class this weekend and for acupressure, and the instructor was saying that's in the spring and in the fall is generally when immune systems is weaker, when we tend to get sick. So physically, it protects the body against their seasonal threats. But emotionally, this is really interesting. I thought when I read this and found this out first, it actually protects against environmental threats and promotes emotional boundaries. That's pretty neat. It can protect against feelings of vulnerability. So I thought, wow, that's a neat oil, because sometimes you do need to set some boundaries emotionally. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting way to use On Guard.
I love On Guard. It's just overall trying to protect us as a whole with seasonal threats, and it's trying to protect us from being in a vulnerable situation emotionally.
Yeah, yeah, isn't it?
Thank you.
That is really neat. Yeah, a lot of these things you can find out too. There's a book that kind of goes along. I don't know if you've gotten into it, or you might saw it on Aroma Tools, but there's a book that's about emotions and essential oils, and it's a really great book to have, because sometimes when you look at like a particular oil, or maybe you get tested and then a certain oil comes up and you need this particular oil and you're not really sure why, you can look it up, and a lot of times we need it emotionally or physically, or sometimes both. So yeah, On Guard is just a wonderful, wonderful oil. I can't imagine not leaving home without On Guard either. I use it like if I go to the hospital or someplace, if I'm going to see somebody, if I feel like I'm going to be like in a situation where, there might be a bunch of germs and things. I always want to use On Guard, but you just throughout the day, it's a good habit to use every day. And Lifelong Vitality. Now this one we cannot. We could talk all night about it practically, but we can't do that because of time. But we do have to mention it because this is just so amazing. This whole blend and everything that they put together. As we discussed earlier, the gut, the brain, and the heart health are interconnected. And so essential oils are most effective when combined with good nutrition, digestive health, and proper circulation. The Lifelong Vitality is a daily supplement trio that lays a strong foundation for physical and emotional health. It provides an excellent source of minerals, micronutrients, and healthy fats. And as well as it has 9 essential oils in the XE Omega. So together, these supplements, they provide our three brains the daily cellular support they need for us to feel good emotionally and physically. And they are awesome, just so awesome. And gut cleansing. Now, this is really, really important too, because regular cleansing of the gut restores healthy physical function, but it also is necessary for clear thinking and mood management. Low digestive function has been scientifically linked with low mood. Remember, 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in the gut. Did you realize that? I'll repeat that. 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in the gut.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing. And when you think about it, with people aren't using On Guard or other things, and they get sick, and then the doctor prescribes an antibiotic, and that destroys all the good bacteria as well as the bad bacteria. So what happens to all our serotonin and everything? Things get messed up digestively, and it's not good for our mood. So PB Assist contains pre and probiotics that help to sustain healthy colonies of microflora and the good bacteria, and which this also helps nutrient uptake, energy metabolism, and GI immunity. And Terrazyme, well, I know you know all about Terrazyme, don't you?
This is like one of my absolute favorite products. It really helps to produce, supports the body with a lot of production of enzymes. So it's basically a digestive enzyme. It's almost like a little pill that kind of goes down into your stomach and just takes care of the things that are going to end up bothering you. For me, I have some acid issues with my stomach, and it definitely is providing my body with the whole food enzymes, and it's really helping my digestion improve, and I don't have these negative side effects as much whenever I take that.
Oh, that's awesome. Also here is GX Assist. It provides a natural but powerful cleanse of the GI tract. And doTERRA, they have a cleanse. It's basically a 30-day cleanse, which is pretty amazing to do. So great, great products. And I do have to say one other thing, just summary with the Lifelong Vitality. I've been taking it for 5 years now, and I have never had to, as a licensed massage therapist, had to call my clients and say, sorry, I can't come because I'm not feeling well. I mean, which is really amazing. I mean, to not be sick and not miss work is just incredible.
Is so important too. And I think that's why Lifelong Vitality is one of those most popular things, products in doTERRA. I think that's why, because people constantly feel that, people go back for it again and again, and they make it a part of their routine.
Yeah, it is definitely worth it. I can tell, like, if I skip a day or two, or if I'm like, oh my gosh, I can tell. It's just, you don't really notice it when you're taking it, but then if you stop, then you notice it. It's just more energy is what it really does. So, so we've really covered a lot of information. So let's just take a breath for one moment and simplify, because you might be asking, okay, where do I begin? Change is a gift that is always available to us. If you're ready to feel better and experience more out of life, you are in the right place. doTERRA has just introduced 6 new mood blends, which are in roller bottles now. So making a total of 10 blends specifically designed for mood. So here is the new Aromatherapy wheel, which is really a great tool. I've used it many, many times. And it helps to support your mood in any given moment. So if you notice, there are 6 different types of plants that produce an essential oil to give support in their own unique and specific way. How they grow is a lot like how they react in our bodies. Take, for example, the citrus oils. Citrus plants grow in warm, sunny climates, elevated high off the ground. Citrus oils are uplifting, elevating happy oils. Another example are tree oils. Tree oils are rooted deep into the earth, providing the strong foundation for the plant to have strength and stability. Tree oils offer us the same properties. They help us feel more balanced, grounded, and secure. So let's put this aromatherapy wheel to work. Identify what you are feeling now in this particular moment. Maybe you're feeling more than one thing, but what speaks loudest to you? Then choose 1 or 2 oils that best fits. For example, if I'm experiencing anger or bitterness and have agitated feelings, I might want to try forgive to feel more calm and collected. So what I would do is I would place forgive over my heart, on the insides of my wrist, or across my forehead. Or let's say you just lost a loved one and are in the grieving process. So which oil would you use, Chelsea?
Console.
Console, absolutely, yes. And again, I would place a drop or two over my heart and on my forehead or temples and on the insides of my wrists. So that's how this works. Becoming happy, connected, and empowered requires choosing healthy habits. Healthy mood habits create a healthy mood lifestyle. As a first step, it's helpful to understand where you are now. This is a quick assessment to help you understand how connected to your brain, heart, and gut you really are. For each brain, simply kind of do this mentally, because it's on the screen here, but put a check mark next to the statements that seem to be true for you. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and kind of do that. And
Check, check, check.
okay, I guess we've all checked now. I guess you can always pause it if if we need more time.
If you need time to think and really get in the zone, feel free to pause.
Yes. So the statements that you have checked are areas of strength, areas to celebrate and continue to nurture. The statements without check marks may reflect healing gestures and opportunities for growth. So based on what you discovered, what is one weed you want to remove? Is it something like at the beginning, like, do you ever have thoughts like, I'm not good enough? That would be a weed for sure. So it could be a negative thought, a relationship or substance. It could also be feelings like the thought pattern, like, I feel I'm overwhelmed, I feel stressed. Okay, and you can always look at the aromatherapy wheel for clues as to discover some of your weeds. And the other thing to think about is, what do you want to plant? So what do you want to plant instead? It could be a new belief, a relationship, or supplement. For example, you may want to plant the new belief, I am completely supported in every moment. So yeah, this is a really neat thing to do, because I remember I mentioned to you when I went to some of these classes, because doTERRA has so much in terms of personal development, and we all have these limiting beliefs, and it is really important to identify them and to pull them up by their roots and get rid of them, but then at the same time to then plant and nurture a positive belief instead. So like if you're thinking I'm not good enough, then you think, yes, I am capable, I am good enough, and I am very capable, or whatever it is that you want to plant instead, some confident statements. So yeah, this is just why I love doTERRA, because it just helps you in every way. It helps you emotionally, it helps you personally, personal development, physically. It's just like an awesome thing.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. It's always like that garden relation as well. It's planting and sowing and, watching your garden grow. You can do that with so many doTERRA products. You just set these goals that you want for your health. You incorporate different oils or doTERRA products infused with those oils, and you just see how it impacts you. And it's gonna make a difference in your life.
Yes, absolutely. So the next question is, how will I nourish the seed? Okay, with habits, practices, and patterns. Okay, like the woman here is saying, I am whole, I am enough, I am whole. And, it really does come down to habits, because we need to start new habits. It's not quite the beginning of the year, but every day is a good time to start and nurture, continue a good habit. Habits like applying balance every day, taking lifelong vitality every day. These kinds of habits of using the essential oils are things that have really helped me to be able to increase my wellness, my emotional as well as physical wellness, and it really has to come from a habit. Some people are not used to taking supplements every day, but it's a great and it's pretty easy habit to do. And using essential oils is the same. It's creating a habit of creating, getting up in the morning and after you shower, putting on some balance, making it part of your regular routine. And one thing that's helped me to do this too is like keeping the oils where I will use them. Like I'll keep my lavender by the bed, or serenity, and that way I remember to use it at that time, and I keep my lifelong vitality on the kitchen table. And things like that. It helps to remind you to use these oils and in the place that you would be maybe brushing your teeth, and then you have your On Guard toothpaste and you have your On Guard oil. So that's just one way that helps to promote habits. So habits, practices, patterns. Yeah, definitely is what
Yeah, and
nourishes.
even like whenever I think of practice, I think of yoga. I really do. So even trying incorporating it into a practice that you do every day, like besides a routine, I guess like a routine to me says it's a pattern, but if it's a practice, maybe it's something that you're doing at work, like you're planning at work. So you pick an oil for planning, maybe frankincense to help you zone in and focus, or if you're doing yoga, you can use some lavender and some breathe to help you get those deep breaths. Even when you're running, you can use deep blue and breathe. The list goes on endlessly.
Yes, lemon in your water, things like that. Yeah, exactly. Now this is a really great thought. You fill a bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought. You heal yourself moment by moment. And this is remember I said that this year our annual convention was about one drop, and how just by one thing, by one person, one drop, how you can make a difference. It's the same thing with our health and uh, individually and with others. It's just our emotions. We identify maybe a negative emotion, and then we identify a belief that's not a good belief, a supportive belief, and then we can drop by drop, thought by thought, moment by moment, just help ourselves to be more the way that is going to be more supportive to ourselves. Like instead of thinking negatively or have a negative thought, we replace that negative thought with a positive thought. Pull out that weed and nurture a seed that's going to be helpful to us. So yeah, and that's really how we heal ourselves. Just day by day, a little bit at a time. But then consistently, with the consistency is how that makes the difference. Consistently choosing to take care of ourselves. So I thought that's just a beautiful way of putting it. So with that, I'm just going to kind of leave you with that thought, because the rest of this goes into our kits and how we can bring these oils into our home. But I can show you some of this, but some of our kits have changed. So I would suggest that you get with a person who invited you to this webinar. That person can go over with you the best way to get started with doTERRA. There are great kits that are great values for some people, and we really do encourage that, because like for example with this Natural Solutions kit, It's actually like our top selling kit because it contains so many great products. But you'll find that there is a kit and there is a way for everyone to get started. Um, just this month, and I don't know, every month it changes, but we have a fantastic offer that anyone who purchases $100, it's actually PV, which is really close to dollars, will actually, when they purchase another $100 on life, it's called um, Loyalty Rewards Program, you can get the Lifelong Vitality free. So check with the person who invited you to the webinar and they can tell you more about it.
Lots of details, lots of excitement with that promo for this October.
Yes, yes. And that's my puppy in the background telling me that I think I've been quiet long enough.
Time for my doTERRA.
So, all right. Well, enjoyed doing this. This was really fun. Thanks, Chelsea.
Thanks, Victoria. Thank you so much for sharing that with everyone. And I think that everyone's going to benefit from this. Please feel free to reach out and go doTERRA.
Yes. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.